Hello, Transformers fans, and I have another upgrade for you. It is the Perfect Effect Perfect Combiner PC23 upgrade kit for Volcanicus. And, this is the only one I have right now. I do not have PC21 yet. I did order it along with another pre-order, which just recently pre-order ended up changing from August to November. So I am trying to see if the place I ordered it from can actually send me the PC21 so I can make the other video I need to for Volcanicus. I guess we'll wait and see. I haven't heard back from them yet. But I am really liking the artwork that Perfect Effect is starting to do on their boxes. You know, just a simple little thing right there. You know, Volcanicus right up there. Perfect Effect, Perfect Effect. Alt modes, just Volcanicus in the background, before and after shot, all the pieces that come in the box, what the combiner sword looks like, and then just the list of everything in the kit. Alrighty. Okay, so as you can see, I have one Grimlock and two Grimlock. And yes, he doesn't have arms, and I'm going to explain why that is. This Grimlock is in here for the before and after comparison, and then eventually there's going to be a different kind of comparison in another video. Okay, so the reason why this Grimlock is armless is because of the arms that came on him. This video probably would have been possibly an extra 20 to 30 minutes longer because of just trying to pull these arms apart. So, yeah. As you can see, I was actually able to get this one completely in half. The only thing I can point out in the instructions for this is that it says that there are 3 screws that need to be taken out of this arm. There actually aren't. There's only the screw here, and something that looks like it could have resembled a small screw hole or a place where a pin could have actually been put in. But it's not. It's a peg. There are 3 pegs holding this thing together, and these pegs must have been pretty tight to begin with before any glue was used, and they seem to have put quite a bit of glue right up here along this seam, which that's the other half of that seam, and a little bit over in here. Yeah, it took me maybe, like, for me anyway, 10 to 15 minutes just to take one arm off. And this one was a little bit more difficult because this is as far as I could actually get it. I was able to get his hand out because you do need to use that, and somehow I was able to force the ooh, hello. That's the first time that came apart. Holy heck. Yeah. That has never come apart before. That was always stuck in place. Wouldn't you know that? Okay. Well, anyway, because I couldn't get it to pull in half before, unlike what just happened there. I had to force the elbow joint out from here because one of the peg was still partially intact and it wouldn't break any further. Not with the flathead and not with the scalpel I was using. So that's the reason why it would have ended up adding like a whole other half an hour onto this video. So, alrighty, I already got everything laid out, including the screws. This is the new chest plate, done in gold and some red there. It has pretty nice detailing in it. And the other one's the mirror image. Get the new crotch plate, and I am not going to be making any jokes about this on camera. Anyone who's watching it, go ahead, feel free, make all the jokes you want. But I honestly don't understand why they felt the need to put a cockpit on his crotch plate. Much less a see-through one. But yeah, so we have the transparent orange cockpit. For alt mode, one of your little Titan Masters will end up sitting here. And you got a little faux waist right here done on the red. Got some gold tint right here and a little bit of silver. Here we go. And this is the new back piece. And this will become a shield for alt mode. And you got some gold, some black, and some red paint up in here. And that actually looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alrighty. So, there's that. You do get a couple of thigh and hip extensions right here. You get the new arms. You do have to reuse the hands. Obviously they'll point it on the directions. But something about the arms, the first time I tried putting this together, I did have one arm that had some major gap issues. I mean, you could pretty much see the light straight through to the other side, and it was the oddest thing because with that gap there, I couldn't even see anything in there that was actually preventing it from sitting flush until I actually ended up taking the arm off, and there was some flash molding in here. So you might want to look at the arms before you decide to put your put them on there, just so you don't have those gap issues. And possibly take a look at the hip extensions too. I mean, because anything's possible. Just a brief look at them. And yes, I'm looking. I am double checking just to make sure, because that's actually the first time I actually checked for it. At least on those. But yeah, I guess we'll get right down to it. Alrighty. And that should be the right arm right here. Sorry, right arm. Right there. And right hand. And you can just already pop that in there like that, if you really want to. Okay, now, I don't know if it's the way the arms were molded or anything, but the right arm tends to go over or through here a lot easier than the left arm does, at least on my kit anyway. So, and this arm does actually have 3 screw holes in it. Number 3. Okie dokie. Arm works perfectly fine. Alright. And let's get the other arm on. See, this is what I'm talking about. You kind of gotta work it back and forth over the top of that a little bit more than you do with the other one. Like I said, at least on my copy, it's doing that. Might not be the same for your copy. So, although I will say on the one arm that had the gapping issues, it looked like that some of the flash molding wasn't actually flash molding at all. It looked like maybe there's like a little degradation in the mold. Like maybe there was a spot that just didn't get cut down a little bit far enough because there was a little bit of raised plastic. Yeah. So because of that, that's why I'm thinking maybe it was the mold itself, because it definitely was not a cut piece, you know, where you can tell that they actually cut the flash mold in a way. So that's another reason why I'm saying double check for the flash molding before you put the arms together. There's the arms all done. Okay, time to get the legs. Oh, and so, a lot of you will probably end up getting the original arms off probably quite a bit faster than I was able to do. And mine mostly had to do with the fact that my X-Acto, I don't have any replacement blades for it at the moment. So I was working with a dull blade, and the flathead I was using probably just wasn't small enough to really get up in there. But the actual put together time once you get the arms off is really only 15 to 20 minutes. And I just like taking a little bit longer in my videos, just so that way you guys get the full effect right up front. And make sure to reuse this. This is the ratcheting piece inside the leg. It does not have springs. It's got this little piece of plastic. And this is the one thing I like about these legs, the new legs from Perfect Effect, is it just sits over these 2 tabs right in here, and it doesn't move up, it doesn't move down or side to side, where in the original leg, it does. And I will end up showing you the difference when these are on compared to that right there. And you can actually put these in without trying to do the right leg. You can actually leave the lower piece of the leg off when you're doing this, if you want to. An easy way to get this in is what I call a test fit. You just put it together and move it up and down a little bit, and it actually pushes the pieces in for you. And I'm used to the figures actually having springs in the hips, because I usually do the top screw first, where the hip is, to actually help keep that all together before doing the lower part. I just find it a little bit easier, because it's a little bit harder when there's springs involved to put that one in second. So probably tighten this down a little bit more. Alright, on to the second leg. And keeping the other ratchet piece. Putting it on those two tabs right there. Pop that over. Oop, that popped out. And doing the test fit, getting the pieces together. And I don't know about anybody else's kit, but mine came with one extra of the black coated screw. I know it's a big help, and sometimes some of these third-party kits, usually you might end up getting more than one. But this time I ended up getting one. My last third-party kit, I think I got maybe 3 extra screws, which is kind of weird. But what you gonna do? Alrighty. So that should be all put together. And I did have one leg at first that was a little bit harder to slide in than the other. Well, obviously you can see that right there. But yeah. And then once these all done, okay, let's listen to these ratchets here. Oh, he came right out. Wow, popped right in, and then it easily popped right back out. Okay, hopefully that doesn't happen again, but you can hear how good those ratchets sound. And then, yeah, no. So the new hip and thighs actually upgrade the ratchets in this. But, yep. You got a nice little height difference right there. This Grimlock is actually about half an inch to maybe about 3/4 of an inch taller. I know it doesn't really look like it, but he really is. But, yeah, I mean, kind of hard to tell when it's on camera, but it really is what it is. We Grimlock really beside ourselves. Alrighty. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start putting him into torso mode. Oh, if I didn't already say it, this video is literally just going to be the build video. Because I don't have PC-21 yet, I can't actually do the combine mode yet. So this is literally just going to be the build, torso build video for right now, unfortunately. So there might be 1 or 2 more videos involved with this kit, with the Volcanicus upgrade. So, alrighty, and then we just take our chest piece and pop together in advance. These clip on right into the sides here. It's a soft clip in, so you won't really hear it go in, but it'll definitely be in. And just pop the head down, and this will actually help keep it in place a little bit better. And then make sure this is all the way down. Sometimes I accidentally leave it up where it's supposed to be resting. And then the back piece goes on. Obviously the 2 big tabs on the back are going to go into these 2 big slots. These 2 tabs are going to go right up in here on either side, and these 2 bottom ones are just going to sit right down in here. And sometimes this is a little bit hard to line up. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I had a little problem with it. The first time I tried doing it. So, alrighty, and I will also tell you in advance. Swoop here, I don't know if it's, I'm going to try it on the other side. I've only tried it in this side, but depending on where, or which 2 sides of the combiner port you're going to use, there's literally like no friction. And you switch it to the other 2, and there is friction. Holds in place nice. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so there's a little bit more friction on this side, using those 2 sides than the other one, and it's still as loose. So I don't know. Possibility it could just be my copy, but just so you know in advance, something else to look out for. Alrighty. And then take the new crotch plate and oops, I think, oh, you know what, I still have the piece on here. This is the other piece I didn't show off yet. It's just a piece of gray plastic. If you want to paint it silver to match the original Volcanicus crotch plate, go right ahead. I forgot I left this on there, but it's easier to put this on first, because we have this tab post right here that goes into this port, and it doesn't actually sit in there all the way. It doesn't really go in that far, and this tab goes into that slot, and I tried it the way it was shown in the instructions to actually put this on last, but I just ended up finding it a little bit difficult for the 3 clips to push it over and get that into that tab in there without having actually done it first. And then before you flip it over all the way, there's 2 tabs on the front of these new hips right here, and they will be going into these 2 slots right here. Just make sure you line everything up. They do have to be at a certain angle in order to tab in properly. Alright, there we go. Make sure it's all together. And then there's the transformation hinge right there. And then right there. Oh, that one's a little loose. I might have to try to tighten that one down a little bit more. But there is torso mode, and instructions do show using the fists that come with it. Didn't really see what it said to do with this one, but the front thumb, it said to flip it up like this. Sorry about that, folks. And then just pop it over the peg, and you can actually just, you know, flip it over. Most likely just to cover up this gapping issue right in here. And then go ahead and put the other one on. Flip that around. Or at least I'm flipping it around so that way it like curves around to the back side. And it's not like there's, you know, like a spot for it to like tab in or anything. So, I mean, essentially, yes, that is the entire build, folks, for the torso. Too bad I couldn't actually do this the way it should have been done with the hands and the feet as well. But sometimes stuff happens. Alright, and seeing this is still a build video. Going to show off the build for the sword, for his new combined mode sword. So you get the axe. It actually has quite a short handle on it, and then you get 3 of these fiery orange flame swords. Well, I'm calling them flame swords. And they are sorry about that. It's been a long day. Three different lengths. These 2 don't really look like it, but you can tell just by looking at where the handles pop down. So, alrighty, and then you just see, just match these up with the little tabs. Now these ones actually lock in place when you're putting them together. So these will actually stay together for you. And then the black sword, which doesn't really look like a sword. Definitely looks better in combined mode. And this doesn't keep it together. They just sit there as like a sitting place while you're actually putting them together. Okay, so these 2 handles are actually going to go down into these 2 ports right here. Just like that, and then you can tell this is still loose. And then You notice on the axe there is 2 grooves for these 2 tabs on either side of this base right here. I don't know if you can see that. The camera's not really focusing in. There we go. Okay. So I found it easier to start it off on a little bit of an angle to get it started. And sometimes this black piece, the black sword, doesn't actually like going into the slot, because the first time I put this together I thought this gap was actually supposed to be here like this, but if you make sure that that is actually lined up properly, it will push in all the way. So, and that is zoomed out all the way, and this sword is huge. Kind of wish maybe the handle was just like one of these sections a little bit longer. Just would have made it look a tiny little bit better, like an actual sword handle. But what are you going to do? Alright. This sword is, as I'm guessing, is probably 10 to 11 inches long, because my little background, these are supposed to be 16-inch square, and it's at least 5 inches shorter than that. So yeah, it's between 10 and 11 inches long right here, but it's a pretty cool sword. But I do not have an arm in place yet to show you because it doesn't have his hand. So, unfortunately, but yeah, if you want to see another good example of how long this is, I got Volcanicus sitting there. I'm going to put Grimlock right up on top of him. And then I am going to set this sword up. And you can tell, because Volcanicus' torso is actually quite big, especially with the new armor and everything on him. And then, yeah, I don't know, what do you want to say about that, Grimlock? Sword actually as tall as Grimlock crotch. Ah! Man down! Alrighty, so and like I said, I don't have PC21 in yet, and my Transform Dreamwave Volcanicus upgrade kit is already on its way, so I'm gonna have to put that off, making the video for that until I can actually get PC21 in, so I can finish off this kit. But I do have some other videos, at least 4 more videos that I can upload over the next month or so. So there will be videos. I will tell you that they're not actually the upgrade videos. They are accessories. They are accessory upgrades. So, you know, just nice little fillers until I actually get some real upgrade kits in. So, there's that. And there's the PC23 Volcanicus torso upgrade for now. And until next time, thanks for watching.